everyone. Welcome to this live stream. Learn about investors and loan options for your small business part 1, hosted by Grow with Google and Primer. Grow with Google helps people grow their skills, careers, and businesses by offering free digital skills training and tools. Primer is a free app created by Google that you can download to your phone. This has a series of short, fun lessons that are all about less than 5 minutes each, and they're all designed to help you sharpen your business and marketing skills. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Anna Grimes. I've spent most of my career in sales and marketing, mostly in fintech and financial services. Then a couple of years ago, I started a coaching and consulting business for female entrepreneurs looking to grow their presence online. And now I'm an instructor here at Grow with Google. I'm so excited that you're here with us today. I'll be working with my co-instructor Basim, who will be answering some of your questions at the end of the workshop. Whether you're starting a new business or you're already managing one, it's really important to understand the different options for finding the funding that you might need for your business. This is a 2-part presentation. In part 1, which we're covering now, we'll review loan options. I also encourage you to participate in part 2, where we will discuss the options for investors. To register for part 2, visit g.co/growonair. We want this to be as helpful for you as possible, so make sure to post your questions directly under this live stream video. We'll choose the top voted questions, so make sure that you upvote your favorites throughout today's workshop. If we don't get to answer all of your posted questions, our team will reply and answer all of the questions directly in the Q&A shortly after the virtual event concludes. If you'd like to access the additional resources for this class, click on the Resources tab at the top of the screen. You will also be able to access a replay of this virtual event in the future by just clicking on demand on the Grow with Google On Air homepage. Also, don't forget to post and share with your friends on social using the hashtag Grow with Google. Finally, you also have the option to turn on YouTube's closed captioning to follow along. To do so, click the closed captioning button directly on the video player on your screen. Now, let's dive in and get started. Before we begin, I want to be sure that everyone understands this presentation does not offer tax or legal advice. It introduces general concepts and resources. I am not a tax professional or a lawyer. Make sure to contact your tax professional or lawyer to confirm what's best for you and your business. As we all know, it costs money to start and operate a business. Some people use their personal savings or spend time saving up, or they ask for money from friends and family. Other people will get business loans or investors to start or grow their business. There are a variety of options for funding, so it's important to understand what they are and how they may impact your particular business so that you can make the best decision for you and your business. Today's workshop has 5 sections. In the first section, we'll talk about the differences in funding options. Then we'll go deeper into what are called small business loans. Next, we'll talk about microloans. And then after that, we'll have an activity for you to try. And finally, we will provide some key takeaways and additional resources. Now, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start by talking about what funding your business actually means. For a new or growing business, money can be central to success. So it's good to know how much you might need. That starts by understanding your business costs. Your costs will then help you estimate profits and see how much money you need to break even. Knowing your costs and estimated profits are key to applying for a loan or talking to investors. Having this information may also help you when it comes to tax time. Personally speaking, as a business owner, I know keeping track of all of my expenses coming out of the business and also my profits coming in month over month is so important to making projections about my business success, as well as planning for that all-important tax time. A key to estimating costs is being organized. Personally speaking, I live in Google Sheets, keeping all of my expenses or my profits, how much I've spent on certain different categories, organized in Google Sheets. So break out a spreadsheet or some sort of budgeting software and get ready to create a clear picture of your finances. Start by listing some items most businesses need. In addition to office space, there are supplies like desks and pens, utilities like electricity and heating, communications equipment, and any necessary licenses, permits, or insurance. You also want to account for paying employees if you have them. Or if you don't, maybe outside consultants like lawyers, accountants, or marketing professionals, and yourself. It's so important to consider yourself as an employee, both from a tax perspective, but also when it comes to looking at the total health of your business. Plus, there's marketing and advertising, including things like market research, buying ad space, and building your website. Note which expenses will be one-time costs. This is especially true for my new business owners. You're going to have a lot of costs in the beginning that are part of just launching the business, but you might not have those expenses moving forward, and that's important to note. These are those one-time costs are typically those initial costs needed to start or grow your business. So it might be something like buying major equipment, designing your business logo, or paying a permit that allows you to actually open your store. The rest of your costs are repeating expenses. These generally help you to sustain your business and include things like salary of your employees, rent, utility bills, etc. Calculate how much each of these will cost you over 1 month, 1 year, and 5 years. Add up your total expenses to see how much money that you'll need and when you'll need it. This might also be true for seasonal changes. For example, you might need to hire additional staff for the holidays. So it's really important to make note of those additional expenses that might come up in the month of November. Make separate calculations for monthly costs, annual expenses, and your 5-year budget. Once you know how much money you actually need, you can start to evaluate the different ways to find funding for it. Different businesses need different types of funding. Choosing the right funding source may help you avoid problems like having too much debt or signing contracts that are wrong for your business. There are a variety of funding options available. You must decide which is the best option or options for you personally and for your business needs. If you have personal resources, you may be able to fund your business yourself. Let's say you've been saving up money for a long time, or you have friends and family that want to invest in your business. In that case, you can continue to own 100% of your business. If you find venture capital or investors, most likely they will want a percent of your business in exchange for giving you funding. This could also be true for friends and family. So you will no longer own 100% of your business. As I mentioned earlier, you can learn about getting investors in part 2 of this presentation. You can sign up for that workshop at g.co/growonair. If your business has a compelling story where it solves a big problem for an audience, maybe it's a product that people have been dying for, you may be able to use what's called crowdfunding to get a lot of people to contribute small amounts of money to your business. Let's say that you're coming up with a product, it solves a huge problem for a big audience. You can launch this particular idea and have people invest in that product, indicating that they would actually purchase it before you've even created it. That way you're building your audience and your capital for the creation of that product before production. So then you can use that money to produce the product and then sell it back to your crowdfunding supporters. During this presentation, we're going to take a deeper dive into other ways to find funding. Ways that include small business loans and what are called microloans. First, we'll go into small business loans. Picture Pearl, who owns a jewelry store called, you guessed it, Pearl's Pearls. Business has been great, and she's thinking about opening a second location. Pearl has saved up some money and created a strong business plan. Still, she knows that she'll need more money to open her new spot. Pearl doesn't have a very strong social network or any flashy marketing materials. She's also not trying to create a business with millions of customers right now. She really just wants to open another store. So what's the best way for her to get funding for her new location? Let's look at the options here. Option number 1, from a lender who specializes in startups that can grow quickly and easily, also known as venture capital. Number two, from lots of people who see her marketing and each decide to give her a small amount of money, also known as crowdfunding. Or from a bank that's familiar with the needs of small businesses, also known as a business loan. Now, if you're thinking about these three different options, you probably know that the best option for Pearl is to get funding from a bank that's familiar with the needs of small businesses, also known as a business loan. Why is that? Well, let's see what we know about Pearl. We know that Pearl is not looking to grow super quickly. She's just looking to add another location. She may want to keep 100% ownership of her jewelry store, so venture capital might not be the best solution for her. She also made it clear that she doesn't have a big social following. She doesn't have access to a large audience that she could get that crowdfunding money from. So it looks like the bank might be the best option for her. A small business loan is like other types of bank loans, if you've ever gotten one before. After you get the loan, you'll need to make regular payments, usually monthly payments, plus interest until you've paid back the loan. These loans are designed to help you to grow your business. You can use money for things like buying equipment or office supplies, paying your team of employees, or purchasing the raw materials that you need. If you want to get a small business loan, start with your local bank. Different banks have different rules. You may need to go to several banks until you find one that is right for you and your business. A lot of small business owners will start with the bank that they already bank with. So the bank that you already have your personal checking or savings account with. Before approaching your bank, you want to make sure that you're super clear on why you need the loan. For some businesses, you need working capital to help you meet your day-to-day needs. You usually pay that type of loan back in a year. An example is a retail store that has to buy inventory in the fall to sell during the holiday season. They're going to know that they're going to be able to pay back that loan really quickly because they're going to sell that inventory in the holiday season and be able to pay it back in the new year. Other businesses need things like growth capital. With that, you may have more time, like up to 7 years to pay it back. A printing company may need a loan to buy a high capacity printing press so it can grow in the years to come. But obviously they can't actually start that business and begin to collect revenue until they have the printing press that they need to be able to actually launch the business. So that loan is going to become really important. Regardless of what type of loan you think you need, be sure that you don't take on more debt than you can afford. This can sometimes be a really difficult choice for business owners and can result in the business not finding success. If you do have a chance to get a loan, you also may need to offer what's called collateral. This is something of value to your business, like inventory or a building that the bank can take ownership of in the event that you don't repay your loan. You may also have the option to offer up a personal guarantee. This might be true for those of you that are launching new businesses. Let's say you don't actually have a building yet, or you don't have something of value in your business yet. It's brand new. That means that you have to offer something personal of value, like your home or your personal car. If you don't pay back your business loan, the bank can ultimately take possession of those items. Before giving you a loan, the bank will want to know all about your business, make sure that it's solid, and that you're going to have no problem paying back the loan. You want to be successful, and they want you to be successful as well. They will ask you to prepare what's called a loan package. This typically includes three things: a statement of purpose, which is an overview of your loan request that explains how the money will actually help your business. 2, a business plan that has insights into how your business actually works, from product descriptions to a breakdown of your management structure. And 3, a financial statement that takes lenders through how much money your business earns now and how much it can potentially bring in. Nonprofit organizations like small business development centers have templates for these documents that you can use as models. They also have people on their local teams who may be able to help you prepare your loan package at no charge to you. You may also be able to find people in your community to help you using the site sba.gov, sba.gov. If you have a bank in mind that you'd like to work with, maybe your personal bank that you've already been using for a long time, you can ask them if they have templates that they prefer to see for their specific loan packages. The statement of purpose, as we discussed before, is an overview of your loan request that explains how the money will actually help your business. Describe your business, including your products or services, and then you'll build a case to demonstrate that your business is well organized, well run, and can be even more profitable if you had this additional funding. Sometimes it's really straightforward, like you have to buy a big piece of equipment to even launch your business. Sometimes it may not be as straightforward, like adding additional staff that is going to allow you to grow in the way that you know you'll grow if you have the support of a team. While a narrative about why you need a loan is really important, it's also important to support your request with your actual business plan. Some of you may already have this. If you have looked for investment in other places, or if you're just looking to get really solid about what your business is going to do, you may have already created a business plan in the development of your business. Your business plan needs to have a few different sections though. First thing, it needs to start by briefly describing your business and stating your vision for the company. Show your lender that you firmly understand where your business is now and how it can grow. You want to get really solid in what it is that you're going to do for your customers and how that can be leveraged for growth. Next, provide an analysis of the economic conditions affecting your business. Mention how many potential customers you might have and their buying patterns. Do research into your actual competition and find out any barriers or regulations your business might face. The bank is going to want to understand what are the challenges that you're up against and what are the ways that maybe you're different from your competition that is going to help you to be successful in a market that isn't really saturated. The market analysis is also a chance to further explain your products and services. Expand on the information that you provided in the statement of purpose and help your lenders understand how much revenue your business could bring in if you had this funding or loan and you were able to use it in the way that you need to grow your business with the intention of what's stated in the business plan. Last, provide a brief overview of your company. Write out your employees' roles, highlight the management team's best qualities. Remember, you're trying to sell your lender on your business's ability to work well and repay the loan. That's exactly what the bank is going to be evaluating. Can this business grow enough to be able to pay back the loan that we initially offered to them? Now we're going to do an activity. For this activity, try using Google Docs to write a statement of purpose. You can access Google Docs at docs.google.com and sign into your Google account. If you don't have a Google account, you can set one up for free by going to google.com. Now, for more information on how to use Google Docs, reference the handout that accompanies this presentation by clicking resources at the top of the screen. Remember, the statement of purpose is an overview of your loan request that explains how the money will help your business. Number one, describe your business and what it actually does. Number two, highlight products or services that you provide. Number three, explain the loan's potential businesses. How is this loan going to help you to get to where you want your business to be? And four, share how much you and the owners invested. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to work on this activity. Good luck.
All right, 5 minutes. 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 5
Okay, I hope this was a helpful exercise for you. Now let's talk a little bit about the financial statement. The package's final section is what is called the financial statement. This group of documents helps lenders see how you handle money before they decide to give you any funds. Have a cash flow statement that clarifies the money coming in and out of your business every month. This tells lenders how much cash you usually have on hand. Use a current 12-month statement that projects 6 months into the future. You'll also need what's called an income statement. More than just measuring your cash flow, this is a record of your revenue, your expenses, your profits, and your losses over a specific time period. Lenders use it to understand your business's overall finances. For example, if most of the money going into your business is coming out in the form of expenses, you may want to reduce your expenses so the bank can see those net profits. On the flip side of that, if they see that you have low expenses and they can see a trajectory of continued growth or additional profits coming into your business, then they're going to feel really comfortable giving you that loan. Lenders will also want to see a balance sheet for your company. This pits your assets, things like money in your account or equipment that you own, against your liabilities, which is the money that you owe to other people, to show your business's net worth. This is essentially what are all the pieces of ownership, the things of value you have in your business versus the money that you owe to others. So ultimately, are you netting out positive, as in you have more assets than you do liabilities? Rounding out your financial statement is a personal financial statement. This is basically a balance sheet for finances that aren't tied to your business. This is going to be about you personally. Lenders use this to evaluate how you personally handle money and the value of your personal guarantee. This is especially true if you are putting up personal collateral. If you only need a small amount of money for your business, you might want to also look at what's called getting a microloan. Let's look at an example. Picture Clyde. Clyde is a budding young farmer who has developed quite the green thumb working for other people. Recently, his uncle left him a piece of land. It's got great soil, and Clyde is thinking of starting his own small farm there, allowing him to provide for his family and his community. Now, the machines shouldn't be too expensive, but their price tags stand between Clyde and his goal of starting the business. And obviously, he can't start that business until he actually has equipment to farm. Clyde has not owned his own business before and hasn't established his credit, so it might be hard for him to get a bank loan. A microloan might be a good choice for him. Microloans are just like they sound. They're usually smaller than traditional business loans from banks, and they usually have shorter terms, meaning you have to pay them back more quickly. That reduces the risk for the bank, or not the bank, the actual microloan provider. They can be good options for very small startup businesses, but you have to qualify for a microloan. And they typically come with higher interest rates. So essentially you're paying more for the loan. Even if you're starting your business from the ground up, you may still need to demonstrate that you have some type of experience in your industry, such as being an employee at another similar business. Clyde has that here. Remember when I was explaining who Clyde was, you knew that Clyde actually had experience in the field of farming, but just hadn't owned his own business before. This will work in Clyde's favor because the person providing the or the organization providing the microloan will be a little bit more confident in Clyde knowing that he has experience in this industry. Your personal credit will typically be checked with a microloan, and you'll have to explain any negative information on it. You may also have to offer collateral, which I talked about a little bit earlier, which could be something like a personal vehicle or a home or business collateral that you might have. Maybe you have a piece of real estate for the business or equipment that you can put up as collateral, or you may have to have what's called a cosigner. A cosigner is someone that guarantees you personally. So in the event that you couldn't pay the loan, the cosigner would then become responsible for the loan. While lots of people have great business ideas, they might not know what it takes to actually run a business. Many microlenders offer advice, resources, and expertise, as well as funding to help people develop business plans. There are even microlenders who will work with you to create a plan that helps your business grow in stages. That way, you can help your organization to the point that more traditional lenders like banks will be open to you. Even if you don't have a full business plan, many microlenders want to see that you are competent and motivated. So know some details about your market, your potential customers, and why you need funding to succeed. In Clyde's case, Clyde might talk about his experience in farming, how he's been successful working for other companies within this industry. You'll also want to have a plan for paying back your loan. Remember what I said about getting too deep into debt and not being able to pay back that loan? That can make growing your business a really big uphill climb, and we want to avoid that. Many microlenders are associated with nonprofit groups that help certain types of businesses. So look for one that actually matches your particular situation. To find a microlender, look at an online search portal like the Association for Enterprise Opportunity or Microfinance Gateway, or look for information at sba.gov. Different microlenders can place specific restrictions on what you can or can't do with the proceeds of your loan. So make sure that you understand what a specific microlender offers before going with them. Make sure that they are going to give you a loan that's actually going to help you with what you need the loan for. While a microloan can seem like the easier way to go, you still might be better off looking for a traditional, which often has lower interest rates. As a first step, put together all the materials you need to approach several banks or other lenders, the materials that we talked about in today's workshop. And if you're unable to then get a traditional business loan, then consider applying for a microloan. Remember, these microloans are typically higher interest rates and typically shorter term. So you're going to have more pressure of paying back the loan more quickly, and you're also going to spend more money on the actual loan in the form of interest. Let's do a quick recap of the workshop and talk about your next steps. First, understand there are different options for funding your business. Today, we talked about microloans and traditional business loans. In part 2, we're going to be talking about investors. Then you want to determine how much money your business actually needs. You want to be really clear about this because you don't want to be spending interest on a loan that you actually don't need. You want to make sure it gives you exactly what you need and you're going to have no problem paying it back. After that, you'll decide what funding path is best for you. In either case, start to gather information and create your loan packages. At the end of the day, when you create your loan package, it's also going to have a lot of valuable information about your business for you. It's going to help you to do long-term planning, and it will also help you with your taxes. If you want to sharpen your business and marketing skills, check out Primer. This is a free app that you can download to your phone. This has a series of short, fun lessons that are all less than 5 minutes each. This slide shows the lesson titled Put Money into Your Project, Getting a Small Business Loan. So if you're interested in this information, check out this workshop as well. Another great resource is our quick help videos. Get answers and learn how to make the most of Google's tools in just a few minutes. You'll learn things like how to get your business listed on Google Search and Maps, how to make a YouTube channel for your business, and how to start a Google Meet conference. You can check out the playlist on g.co/grow/quick-help. If you're interested in attending part 2 of this workshop, remember it's all about investments. Visit g.co/growonair. If you want to learn and explore more digital tools, visit google.com/grow. This wraps up the presentation portion of today's workshop. Now give us just a few minutes to pass things off to Basim, who will answer some of the questions that you submitted throughout today's session.
Thanks, Anna. Hey, everyone. I'm Basim. I'm so excited to be answering a few of the questions that you've asked throughout today's session, and we've received quite a few. Remember, if we don't get to your questions, we'll be going back and answering all the questions on the Growth Google on air page below the virtual event shortly after it concludes. All right, so let's get to our questions. All right, the first question here is from Sven, and he wants to know, what if I have bad credit? It's a great question, Sven. So bad credit could prevent you from getting certain types of loans. Most often, those traditional business loans. The bank, of course, relies on your credit to be sure you will pay them back on time. However, when you don't, have little to no credit, you can always look into the option of microloans. Due to the nature of microloans and the increased risk for these lenders, these loans are typically paid back much more quickly and can also carry higher rates. So really just understand that as well. If you cannot get a loan because of your credit, then you can try maybe getting a loan from friends and families, loved ones, or even try something like, crowdsourcing or crowdfunding, all right, for that. Next question here is from Jill H. Do you recommend self-funding or getting funding from banks or investors? Well, this is actually going to be up to you. Of course, if you have the money to self-fund your business without any worries, for finance, then it may make sense to, of course, self-fund versus borrowing money and then paying interest on top of that. But I would probably just have a conversation with your tax professional because there actually may be some financial benefits to borrowing money. But like I said, talk with a professional, have that discussion to see if maybe borrowing money may be more beneficial for your business in the long run. Next question here is from Andrea R. How much interest do I typically pay or have to pay on a loan? So your interest rate will actually vary depending on several factors. It'll mainly be on the actual current interest rate that's being offered by banks, and it's kind of a fluctuating rate all the time. And also other factors like we talked about, your credit score, that's going to impact that as well. So typically the less risk for the bank, the lower your interest rate will be. But you can always check. There are actually several interest rate calculators or interest rate sites out there. So definitely check those out to get an idea of where you would stand on that. The next question here is from Greta. Do you recommend a loan even if I'm not sure my business will take off? Well, this will actually depend on the loan type. So for like a microloan, you will be required to pay back the loan pretty quickly. So this is best for things like acquiring inventory that you're fairly certain you're going to be able to sell off in a certain time. So to minimize your risk, you want to try testing out your business ideas with like a small or a soft launch by self-funding, right? If you can self-fund or maybe you borrow some money from family members in the beginning, just to be sure that your business idea is actually viable. And then when you actually have a successful business that you're looking to expand and you need an investment for that, you'll be more certain of your business success and your ability to pay off that actual loan. All right, next question here is from Step Up. I've been in business for 7 years. Do I need a business plan to get a loan to upgrade my equipment? Well, when it comes to acquiring a business loan, the more information you can provide, the better. Maybe a business plan isn't required, but it definitely wouldn't actually hurt. It's always good to even just have a business plan to kind of map out your business, where it is and where you're looking to take it. So I like to kind of think of it as a plan for the future. So lay out that plan, and then you have a better idea really where you want to go with this business. And it also just looks more professional in the eyes of your potential lenders. All right, well, that's it. That wraps up our Q&A for today. Thank you all for joining us today for Learn About Investors and Loan Options for Your Small Business Part 1. Hopefully everyone learned something new. You can find all of our follow-up resources on the same page you're watching in the Resources tab above the video player. You can also access a recording of today's session by clicking On Demand at g.co/growonair. We'll also be sending a follow-up email with a survey for you to fill out regarding your experience in the virtual workshop today. It's really important to get that feedback so we can quickly improve these sessions and offer content that's most helpful to our learners. So thanks again for joining us today. Don't forget you can sign up for part 2 of this workshop on the Growth Google On Air page. We hope to see you next time. Take care.